Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back today with a very interesting and important topic. And this topic is on Vargottama. And this concept is coming from the great sage Parashara again. And as per the great sage Parashara, he has given us, he has given us 16 Varga charts, which we call in English as divisional charts. So these charts are the main chart, which is the Rashi chart, or which we can call the D1 chart. So that's how we describe the 16 major Varga charts given by the great sage Parashara. And the main chart comes under D1. For the purpose of convenience, we have named them as D1, D2, because these are divisional charts. So these 16 divisional charts are the D1, D2, D3, D4, D7, D9, D10, D12, D16, D20, D24, and a couple of other charts, D27 and D30. And these are the major 16 divisional charts. And please remember that the main chart, the Rashi chart, is also out of those 16 divisional charts which Sage Parashara has given us. So the concept of Vargottama comes from the fact, according to the great sage, is that in case a planet is placed in the same zodiac sign in any of these Varga charts or divisional charts, then it becomes Vargottama. And a lot of astrologers normally, you would have seen, have mentioned that, okay, a planet becomes Vargottama only if the planet is in the same zodiac sign in the main chart, which is the D1 chart, and the Navansha chart, which is the D9 chart. Well, that's true, and yet I would say that's not completely true, because as per the great sage Parashara, it is not just the D1 and the D9. According to the sage Parashara, if a planet is in the same sign in any of the divisional charts or any of the Varga charts, it becomes Vargottama. So it's not just D1 and D9, it is any of those 16 Varga charts. So it could be a planet becomes Vargottama if it's in the same zodiac sign in the Rashi chart, which is the D1 chart, and the D9 chart. It can also become Vargottama if it is in the same zodiac sign in the Rashi chart, which is the D1 chart, and the D10 chart. It can also become Vargottama if it's in the same zodiac sign in the D4 chart and the D9 chart, so on and so forth. So any two, it doesn't have to be just the D1 and the D9, or it doesn't have to be a situation where D1 is always involved. No, it could be any zodiac, any Varga charts. So any planet which is, again, any planet which is in the same zodiac sign between any of the 16 Varga charts given by the sage Parashara become Vargottama. And of course, there's exceptions to the rule. We do not consider the D2 chart, which is the Hora chart, and the D30 chart, which is the Trimsansa chart. And the reason why is because Trimsansa is about evil effects. And when I discuss in detail about the Varga charts, you will know why it cannot be, because in D2 there could be only two lagnas, which is the Surya lagna, Sun lagna, or the Moon lagna. And similarly in D30, if you read the D30 chart, it is actually describing about the evil effects and the placement of planets is such that we do not take into consideration the Vargottama concept when we study the D2 and the D30 charts. But other than the D2 and D30, Vargottama concept is between any of the Varga charts. Now, I'm coming back to the same concept given by other astrologers you would have seen, that mostly, yes, we see the concept of Vargottama between the D1, which is the Rashi chart, and the D9 chart. That is true as well. So a lot of importance should be given to these two charts when we are studying the concept of Vargottama. So what exactly is Vargottama? What happens when a planet gets Vargottama, or what happens when a planet gets into the same zodiac sign in two Varga charts? And the result of that planet is that in case it gets Vargottama or in the same zodiac sign in two Varga charts, is that that planet gets the capability of giving extremely benefic results, just like a benefic results given by an exalted planet. So that's number one, that it gives extremely good results. Now, what happens in case a planet is exalted in the D1 chart and also gets exalted in the D9 chart? So one is that it's in the same zodiac sign. The second is that it gets even better because it's exalted in both these Varga charts. Then it gets Mahavargottama, meaning which it gets the capability of giving even better results as compared to when it would give a good result being in the same zodiac sign. So please remember that. Now, what happens in case a planet is Vargottama? Let's discuss. Say, for example, Surya, sun is Vargottama. In its dasha especially, and the bhukti, or meaning which the main dasha and the sub dasha, if sun is exalted, then it gives a result of as if regal or royal effects, which is the signification of sun, are experienced. If Venus gets Vargottama, then the results experienced are going to be related to the signification of Venus, which is luxuries, comforts, happiness, so on and so forth. In case Jupiter gets Vargottama, then it's in its dasha and antardasha, or main period and sub period, you will experience a lot of spiritual benefits or gain of knowledge and wealth, and whatever is the signification of the planet Jupiter. In case Saturn is Vargottama, it gives the results, the good results of the signification of Saturn. Now here I'm also going to stress here that just do not look at the signification of the planet when a planet gets Vargottama. Also look at what is the rulership of the planet in the main chart. Say, for example, Jupiter rules the house of wealth. Then of course, along with the signification of the planet Jupiter, you also have to look at the signification of the planet of the second house, or the house of wealth, which Jupiter is ruling. So you will get extremely good results related to, first, the signification of the planet Jupiter, in case Jupiter is in question when it gets Vargottama, and also the signification of the house which is rules, or rather two houses, because Jupiter will be ruling two houses. So please remember that the good effects will be felt. Similarly, if Mercury gets Vargottama, you have to look at the signification of Mercury, which is, of course, intellect, trading, business, as a signification of the planet if it gets Vargottama, and also the houses which the planet Mercury is ruling related to the Varga charts. And especially look at the D1 chart, which is the main chart, what houses it is ruling, and then you will see good effects related to that. When it comes to Mars, the signification of Mars has to be studied, and also the houses with Mars rules. Signification of Mars is related to a lot of energy, ambition, drive, so on and so forth. Moon, if it gets Vargottama, good effects are experienced related to one's mother, relationship with the mother, mental peace, emotional stability, so on and so forth. And of course, the house which the planet Moon rules, especially in the D1 chart, which is the Rashi chart or the main chart. And similarly, we have to study the effects of Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is about, being extremely shrewd. So if it's Vargottama, you will see the good effects of Rahu, which also sometimes gives good effects when it comes to shrewdness and to be able to manipulate things to one's advantage. And when it comes to Ketu, Ketu signifies the energy, spiritual energy at times, and it is a signification of moksha as well. Or the planet Ketu is a significator of moksha as well. So all these things have to be considered related to the planets. And again, please do not forget the houses which these planets are ruling, especially in the D1 chart. Now, there are also exceptions to the rule. The exceptions are that the Vargottama planets should not be placed in the Dusthana houses, which are the 6, 8, and 12 houses, bad houses, especially in the D1 chart. Then the good effects, of course, will not be felt. Or if the Vargottama planets are under a malefic aspect by any malefic planets, then of course, again, the Vargottama effects are not going to be felt that strongly. Or if they are severely afflicted, then of course the effects are not going to be felt at all. And it could be, actually, sometimes it could be in the reverse direction. Same thing applies to planets which are in the Dusthana houses. So instead of giving good results, it may give reverse results as well. So do not generalize it when it comes to Vargottama planets. You have to also look very, very carefully at where the planets are placed. So this was about Vargottama planets. Now, there's another interesting aspect to the Vargottama concept. And we've studied when a planet gets Vargottama, but sometimes the Lagna Bhava or the Lagna house of the two Vargas or the two divisional charts get the same sign. So say for example, in D1 chart, the ascendant is Aquarius. And in D9 chart also, the ascendant is Aquarius. So all the houses in both the divisional chart will fall in the same signs, in the same zodiac signs. That's just an example. It could be any other ascendant. I'm just giving you one example. So in that case also, it is called the two Varga charts have become Vargottama because both the Varga charts fall in the same zodiac signs, and all the houses are same when you compare both the Varga charts. Because if the Lagna is the same of two Varga charts, and especially when we are discussing the D1 and the D9 charts, all the houses also will fall in the same charts. So this is called Lagna Vargottama, and this combination also gives a very auspicious effect, especially related to the Lagna and also other houses as well, but mostly to the Lagna, and it becomes extremely auspicious for the person's chart under which this combination falls. So first we discuss when planets get Vargottama, and now we are discussing when the charts, two Vargas get Vargottama, and this concept is called Varga Vargottama. When the Lagna or the ascendant of both the Vargas are same, and so all the zodiacs will fall in the same houses. So please remember this concept as well, and this is also given by the great sage Parashara. And the third concept is, which of course we do not use as much as compared to the above two concepts, the first being when planets gets Vargottama, and the second being when the whole chart gets Vargottama, because all the zodiac signs between two Varga charts fall in the same houses. The third concept is when the planet is instead of the zodiac sign, the planet is in the same house between the two Varga charts or between the two divisional charts. Say for example, if the planet Mercury is in the 4th house, or if the planet Mars, let's discuss Mars because it gets extremely auspicious in the 10th house. So if the planet Mars is in the 10th house in D1 chart, and the planet Mars also is in the 10th house in the D9 chart as well, then this planet gets Vargottama. Here you have to remember that this planet may not be in the same zodiac sign, but it could be in the same house, like I gave you the example of Mars in the 10th house. So Mars in the 10th house in D1 chart or the Rashi chart, and also Mars in the 10th house in the D9 chart, because we are discussing between D1 and D9 right now, but I've mentioned earlier that it could be between any Varga charts, giving an exception of D2 and D30. Mostly we study D1 and D9. So in case in both these Varga charts, D1 and D9, Mars is in the 10th house, then it becomes Vargottama again. And this concept is called Bhava Vargottama. So we've discussed so far three concepts of Vargottama. But of course, remember very carefully as to where these Vargottama houses are placed. Are they placed in Dusthana houses, or are they placed in any other bad house, or are they being aspected by any malefic? Then of course it may not be able to give auspicious results, and sometimes it can give inauspicious results as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and do some little research on your chart, your friend's chart, and people who are professional astrologers, their clients' charts, and hopefully you'll come up with some great results. And in the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you soon. Thank you.